Before dawn, the chief rings the bell to remind townsfolk to get home. Hearing the bell, the waiters immediately rush customers out, then quickly lock the restaurant doors and place protective stones by the entrance. Meanwhile, a wife and daughter anxiously wait for the husband to return home, but the husband lies passed out on the barroom floor. Seeing him completely drunk, the owner can only draw the curtains and bolt the bar doors shut, placing protective stones there too. Annie, unable to wait any longer for her husband, reluctantly closes the door. As her daughter heads upstairs to bed, she suddenly hears a familiar voice calling her name. She knows her parents warned her never to respond, but she misses her grandma so much. Annie locks the door and starts upstairs, only to find her daughter at the window, pulling back the curtains. A white-haired old woman stands outside, begging the little girl to let her in. The mother frantically tells her daughter not to open the window, but the kind-hearted girl opens it anyway. The next day, when Jack returns home, he finds a crowd gathered at his door. The chief blames him for not sealing the windows shut. Then he takes Jack upstairs to witness his murdered wife and daughter. The husband, overcome with regret, falls to his knees sobbing. Annie and their daughter have been brutally killed in their own home. The chief calls for the priest to handle the funeral arrangements. As he leaves, he notices a fallen stone on the ground. That afternoon, during the funeral service, an RV suddenly appears in town. Everyone stares at the vehicle in shock. Anyone who enters this town can never leave. Nick steps out and asks for directions, but no one responds. The chief approaches and tells Nick to just keep driving straight ahead. He'll understand soon enough. Back in the RV, Nick feels something's off, but drives away anyway. After driving west for 10 minutes, his wife suddenly realizes they're back in the same town. She thinks Nick must have driven too fast and missed the right road. Frustrated, Nick turns around and heads back the other way. But they haven't gone far when an SUV suddenly appears, speeding straight toward them. In panic, Nick yanks the steering wheel hard. The RV loses control and crashes into a ditch beside the road. When Nick wakes up, his wife is unconscious. His daughter in the back is injured, and his young son has a branch piercing his thigh. Fortunately, the chief finds them and quickly calls for a doctor. In this town, demons appear after dark. If they're not rescued before nightfall, none of them will survive. To prevent tragedy, the sheriff immediately arranges for Nick to take his wife and daughter back to town first. The severely injured young son must have emergency surgery right here in the RV. As night falls, the chief hurries to cover every window in the vehicle. Soon, eerie sounds echo from outside the RV. The chief peers through the window and sees a group of demons approaching them. Crawling sounds scrape across the roof, terrifying the doctor, who freezes mid-operation. Thankfully, the demons can't open windows. As the sounds outside gradually fade, the doctor resumes the surgery. After an hour of operating, he finally removes the branch from the boy's leg. Now they can only wait for daybreak. The next morning, the family is finally reunited. But from this moment on, they are forever trapped in this demon-haunted town.